I hail you immediately, and you see me. I've got long black hair with red horns and black eyes that look like they're on fire. Um, I've got an upright posture, and I'm wearing a simple, it's not leather armor, but it is made of leather jerkin that just kind of goes over the shoulders, chest, buttons down towards the legs. And I've got a long, scaly tail. And as you all come enter this room, I hail friends. I I hope you are the ones that I'm looking for because I've brought good tidings from the wood elves.
Who in the... You see a little 3 foot nothing tiefling, or not tiefling, quickling turn and see you. What in the hell? This is what I'm talking about. He's probably here to steal the treasure. We need to get the fuck out of here. We need to take what we got and come back.
Okay, relax. I come up around this corner here. You see a brown skin, long brown, dark hair, wizard kind of robes. Approach you, very cool, confident demeanor. Yes. Who are you? Because I don't believe we've told anyone of our comings and goings.
And you can't have my dagger.
Of course not. We have a mutual friend. The wood elves from the local area have sent me to give you these good tidings, and thanks for the job that you've done. And I must admit that me coming down here is not completely altruistic because I am in the need of strong friends to be in company with. I assure you, I would not want to steal your treasure from you, good sir. As I
Good. Because the last one
produce,
got put to sleep. And I'll do it to you too if I have to.
I'm sure you would, my small friend. As I pull out the item that the wood elves gave me, or the items that the wood elves gave me, I hand them to you, the female in front. My name is Gehennas of the Wizards Academy.
Oh boy, I love that beard.
Hello, Johannes. I am Alaris. So,
Well met, Alaris.
I think this gas trap has blown itself out at this point.
Good.
Wait, you don't work for who has the note? What it was like
Thanos.
Thanos. That's what do you work for Thanos?
It's a great question.
It was a note from Thanos, I believe.
Yeah.
Azun.
Thanos.
Is it Thanos? I kind of took it as Thanos, but Thanos. Do you work for Thanos?
That gentleman.
Whether or not Gehennas is working for Thanos, he does know that Thanos was lying about his name. He's going by an alias. And you don't know his real name, but you know it's not Thanos.
Well, I relay that to the group.
I don't know if you're under Thanos or not, but he is going to turn into an enemy of the party, so... Which, that doesn't prevent you from joining the party. That just, he's going to be your enemy.
Yeah. I am candid about what I know and say I would not trust such a name, as I can almost certainly tell you that it is not real. It is an alias, as they say. It's fake. A ploy.
So Zune is still sitting. Zune is still by this ball of fire and book, and you see him kind of sit down and think for a minute. You know what? Man, this candid up front in this kind of place, he could be this is an ally. I've made that conclusion. I'm rarely wrong, but just for the rest of you, that I believe we can trust this one.
Why, thank you, my friend.
No,
Do you like firewater?
Asher comes out of stealth. Hello, my name is Asher.
Oh, I see we have some skill in this group. Well met, Asher. Gehinnis of the Mages College. The Mages Academy.
I am Asher the Mercenary, looking for a paycheck, my friend. Looking for a payday.
I am not unused to working with men of your stature, and I have nothing against what you do. In fact, many of us at the Academy will employ mercenaries. I will say, the one thing you can trust is money.
That's true. This guy, he brought a ton of friends over. I mean, he didn't even pay them a full gold. They just were like, hell yeah, silver.
But we paid them a gold. If
I didn't pay
recall
them
correctly.
shit. I just showed them naked women.
And they did the job for the gold that they were given. I am
They-
pretty certain.
I mean, they definitely lied about. I think like 3 of them died. Oh no, wait. I think the druid saved them. They almost died for silver.
They were saved.
I hope so.
Did we take a long rest in this place where you're at?
Not yet.
Okay.
We took a long rest at the beginning of last session, and I think we didn't get very far. It was a lot of role playing, so we've only moved like 2 or 3 corridors since the long rest.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause
quantitatively, we didn't, like, in terms of, like, the ground that was covered, we didn't get very far, but there was a lot of, plot stuff that was covered in the last session, so...
Yes.
Yeah, that pool over where we drew the arrows is where we took the long rest, and then we started last session's game at coming out of that pool and then traveling to where we are. Due
Then-
west of us.
Would you mind if I use the portent skill now as if I just finished a long rest?
Yeah, that's fine. You
want
should
me to roll
have
it in?
a counter on your character sheet that you can, like, every time you use it, you can tick it down by 1.
Okay. You want me to roll it in roll 20?
Yeah.
All right.
First roll of the night.
The great thing
What
about
we
these
got?
is that no matter what I roll, they're all good. All right. 2 sixes.
6s.
That's going to be a good for us.
Nice rolls.
You see me, as you guys are having your conversation, I take out an orb and I kind of stare into it as if I'm focusing or trancing out. And I say, I see. Very well. I put the orb away and I say, well, there is good fortune for us in our near future.
Not gonna lie, that was a little creepy. Just on the,
Well-
if anyone's keeping track of that, was, red flag.
Allow me to
Oh, was
explain,
there?
my friend. I have been studying divination magic my entire time at the academy. And for the things that I've learned by catching glimpses into the future, I can reliably foretell a few things. Not all is certain, but out of the many possibilities, I can glimpse a few. Still
Wait.
grasping at straws.
Hold on. And you see Azun pick up pull his book out and start flipping through pages. I could have sworn I wrote some equations on the multiverse. But time continuum, I mean, you have to consider it. Hold on, I'll get to it. And you just see him start going through his notes.
Yes, indeed. The time continuum. It is a complex thing.
There we go. Okay, I'm not sure why that wasn't
here
on
it
your
is.
character sheet, but I put it on for you while we were talking.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
And basically, until someone stops him, Azun is basically like showing you some of his notes, and he's like, so if you consider the multiple factor here, and he just goes into this long, like, quantum physics theory of what he's working on and asking you.
His flowcharts are like everything goes everywhere. It's kind of hard to roleplay a quickling because they will talk unnaturally fast,
Yeah.
So he will like talk and run on sentences, and the longer he goes without an energy drink, the more keyed up and ADHD he becomes. So
I'm ready.
I,
So
I
you
follow
follow
along.
quantum physics here, and then you follow this time continuum, and you consider the speed of magic, but also consider the speed of light, and if you factor in the physics.
A
A
Zune.
Zune.
What? This is important to my studies. I need that book and this
I
guy for like 4
understand.
hours.
A
But we
Zune.
do. You're still in this place.
And soon kind of just
We
does
may
a circle,
want
and he's
to.
like, "You got a point."
We need to either A, we need to get out of here, or B, continue. We've gotten information from the book, and we need to protect this book as well. So we need to keep moving and go out, or maybe there's even more to find.
You bring up an excellent point, but I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Gehennis,
Yes.
you spoke of needing friends. So, typically people that need friends, like myself, have goals in mind. What exactly are we aligning ourselves to? Because, once you join the group, all your problems become our problems, and that can become problematic if you consider multiple problems, and then if you consider the differential of the problems, then it
Yes,
must do.
My
it
friend,
becomes a lot of problems. Yes.
let me assure you, my business is strictly academic. The research I will be reporting back to the Mages College will be purely benign as far as what I am going to be getting into with you. I would not put your lives in jeopardy unnecessarily as far as you all are concerned. I would like to get back to my studies as quickly as possible, but I have been sent on a mission to gather some research for the academy.
So he keeps mentioning this academy. Would we know what he's referencing? Is there like
Yes.
a
Well-
mage academy, or is there so many that it's fairly vague? And
Well, there's enough that it's fairly vague. There's several mage academies, and with each group, there's of course different goals and different motivations and so on. But it is up to him. I don't have one particular academy that kind of patronizes tieflings in specific, so really you could go with any group you want. So
I'm from the one that would allow an orphan to kind of work his way through studies and earn a scholarship. Basically,
gotcha. Okay.
whatever one I could get into, hard worker.
so all of
studied
us in
hard.
high school.
Yeah. Basically, I wrote essays to all the great schools,
Let's see.
but had no money.
But no, that's fine. I was just wondering if we would start keying into like such and such in this faraway city that's a dominant profigure or not.
Right.
I would like to take this moment to cast mage armor on myself before we head out, and I douse myself in
Good idea.
magic.
We already
energy.
did.
I know.
We've
There's
only
very much a lot of danger still yet in these caves.
that would be a good note. What would you say? We're like an hour into our mage armor from our last long rest, or 2 hours, or what? Thor.
Probably a couple hours into your long rest. So
Okay, so we've got a good half day of adventuring.
The two, I think, most likely candidates for the groups that Gehennis would be in would be either Circle of Incognus or Falcon Hand. And the Circle of Incognus are chroniclers and keepers of knowledge, run by a circle of wizards, and they have many universities and places of learning, as well as libraries like repositories of knowledge and such throughout the world. Falcon Hand is... So there's a group called the Consortium of Portal Overseers that takes care of all the portals in the world. Long story short, just make sure that they're running and that they're not being used to in any way that's going to destroy the portals or the cities that host them. And it's supposed to be, in theory, a neutral group, but everybody kind of knows, and of course there's conspiracy theories on this, that like 8 out of the 12 members are Falcon Hand. So it's kind of assumed that Falcon Hand sort of runs Kopo. Which makes them very, very powerful.
I would say I'm probably from you said Chroniclers?
Yeah.
The first one you mentioned? Okay. Yeah, the Chronicles Mage College, or what do we call that? Or
It's
just the Chronicles?
Circle of Incognus.
Ah.
Cool. All right.
Got it. Thank you.
Pebblekind, I was taking to be like... I mean, you can't really be a spontaneous wizard, but I don't think he's really from an official school from what you've described to me. But
that works too. I was just double checking just because I basically gave it to you to do whatever you want with, and then I'll run with it from there.
Yeah, he learned from his gnome pal, Mr. Pebblekind, and he would have learned from other gnomes, which they don't really organize so much, but they do have a lot of expertise in illusion magic, so...
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah, nope, that's fine. So, unaffiliated. So, well, nice to meet you. Look, we still gotta get out of here. I mean, look,
Yeah.
as much as the next guy, I'd love to find the next big treasure, but we're holding a hefty load here ourselves, and with this, and he kind of gestures to the fireball. With this, we need to ascertain what we have and deal with it.
What is it you're trying to do with this giant ball of gas and flames?
Ah, good sir, come here, man. You know what? This guy right here, he might be the answer. Come here. And he gestures you over, and you see this fireball, and with Azun's help, you notice at the center of it, being held by a mage hand, that there's a book, and I forget what the book's cover is, but it's something about time magic. I forget the exact name. He had a very fancy name that I didn't memorize.
Did we make a handout for that? Let me see if I've got...
So we've tried dispelling the fireball. We've tried to cool
It's in
it.
the SOP.
Oh, is it? Shit, I did not. I need tonight. I will definitely. I meant to put all of our SOP inventory in a character sheet. I will definitely do that tonight before I go to bed.
Actually, I'm gonna copy this from the SOP to the campaign journal. So either way you want to do it, campaign journal, or if you want to put it on a character sheet, that's fine too.
Wait, did we lose all of our... Oh, okay. So
No. I took it off the SOP and put it on the campaign journal. You didn't lose anything.
Yep. No, and I totally meant to do that today before the start of the campaign. I knew I had to do it.
Oh yeah, I know how it goes.
My wife's leaving for 2 weeks to go to Canada tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., so I was spending the day with her and just totally spaced out on that. But all of our group loot will be in that character sheet tonight, for sure.
Okay.
So it is...
Vincent Wombraj. I don't know.
On the creation, navigation, time travel, and pitfalls.
It's in
Like I
the
said,
it's in the chat.
I see.
Yep.
Let me try this, and I cast the cantrip control flames, which I have prepared, and I use its second ability to instantaneously extinguish the flames within the cube, and I just multiply it 3 times because I have the last reading effect is you can cast the spell multiple times, so to just try to encompass the entire flame, extinguish flames.
Okie doke.
Oh, we just have the book.
Did that work for you?
The flames are gone.
Azun immediately goes over to the book and starts flipping through it, reading as fast as he can.
You guys
quickly.
did already manage to get a pretty good idea of what's in there, so even through they kind of read it through the flames using the because the book isn't burning up; it's a defense mechanism to keep unwanted hands from playing with it. So you pretty much have a good idea of what's in it already.
If everyone, as he's flipping through it and he's kind of stuttering and stopping, and it probably takes him like a good minute to get it all out. If I could hold on to this, and I won't keep it to myself, but just I'd love to compare this against my notes. And there's a lot of pauses and breaks, and it takes him a while to get it all out.
Azun, I would really feel more comfortable if I took care of this book and kept it, safeguarded it.
How much do you know about the space-time continuum?
I know a good deal about the space-time continuum.
You do?
I've been to space.
Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, we need to get the fuck out of here, and I need to buy a round of firewater, and we are going to talk about that. And he kind of looks at the book, and he still has his hand on it. He's like, but I would really appreciate holding on to this just until we get somewhere safe. I'm willing to...
Go ahead.
I'm willing to die for this book. This could be my life's work.
Your life's work. It is something that needs to be protected and saved. It's for not just you, but a generation of people of understanding time travel, possibly. So you can hold on to it, because I know you'll protect it. But understand that it's important. It's not just for you and your work.
No. Anybody feel free to mention that you want to look over it. I don't want to hog it. I just any given moment, if we ever have downtime, I would peruse this. I mean, this is everything.
Okay, Azun. You hold it and you be its keeper.
Is there an obvious... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Is there an obvious way out, or is this rubble blocking the way?
Out of the room you're in,
open.
or out of the cave as a whole?
Well, if we wanted to walk out of the room that we're in,
you can walk straight south.
Oh, the rubble to the south is not blocking the way. It's just rubble. Gotcha. You can just walk over it.
Okay.
And then I can't remember, is this the exit or the waterfall west-south of us? Because I rolled the high roll for drawing out my map. So you told me everything I can see, I know.
Where are you pinging? I can't see it. Keep pinging. Just don't stop. I gotta find it.
It's almost directly 45 degrees west-south of us. Directly south of where we came out of the puddle of water. It's either the waterfall or the exit.
I found it. What are you asking about that? Is that where you came out?
Last session, I drew out the map of where we've been and what we've done. I'm just asking if that's the exit or if the exit's over... Oh, no, never mind. The exit's over here, almost directly west of us.
The exit from the whole cave? Yeah, it's over there, yeah.
Okay, so I know the way out.
Before we leave, did we get a chance to open this chest?
Yeah, you opened it.
We did? Okay, good.
That's where we found the roads.
Yes,
oh, yes. Okay.
This thing in it.
Got it.
So I think I know the way out of here for the most part. Pretty well. You may have to do some swimming, but we may not. It all depends. Also, in
Yeah,
case we
you
forgot,
can walk or you can swim. You'll get there either way.
also we found those 3 crystals that Asher identified as different magical properties. The it was quartz. I forget the name of it, but we found some crystals, a
Yeah.
crystal column of healing properties. So that might be something we want to go and grab on our way out. It's right by where we came in. So just as a note, could be something for a payday. I don't know if any of us have any particular use for it.
We also have those barrels
I think we grabbed
of
everything out of the spice.
the spice.
We have the cinnamon, yes.
How heavy was
delicious.
that barrel of spice? Is that something we can walk out with, or is that going to be like 3 of us trying to drag it?
It's like 200 pounds.
3 of us trying to drag it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you'll
it's
have,
to knock it over and roll it along.
you can always roll it, but then you have to get it up through the exit.
You know, we all happen to know that particular druid. Maybe we could trade that information of its location for some favor. Maybe he has some use for spices, being outsider of the village, or wherever he. I don't know. Do you druid circles like spices?
I have absolutely no idea what many of the actual established groups prefer to do. I like
What?
spices, but that doesn't.
You're
And
a
someone will
druid
like
though,
them.
right? You go to circles, don't you? Like know people and know things about your culture.
My culture comes from a time before I could do what I can do now. From my home village. But
You see him
What?
kind of scribble a note and.
I believe what he's trying to say is not all druids are the same.
He keeps spouting
Yes.
that out. That's came up several times. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, I know things about culture of wizards. We're not all the same, but there's definitely some stereotypes out there.
you
Yes.
do have to do all your learning as a wizard, and that is not exactly how I came about
Very
my
interesting.
skill set. So that might be part of your differences there.
It's interesting.
In my reading, I've read that you all are interested in leaves and animals and all things nature. Just don't understand what knowledge there is. Not saying that there's nothing to be gained. I just don't
So there's no
understand it.
knowledge in nature?
I just don't understand it.
One day I
Nature-
will fly.
There have been plenty of things I've been interested in personally, but once you understand how things work over the past few decades, you question why it works. Just because you see the bird nest with its young doesn't tell you why they do that. Just that they do.
Oh, he's a philosopher as well. I wouldn't have guessed that about you being so grumpy, but that is very interesting.
A few things similar to that, at least. I have asked questions on various kinds of plants. Do you know how mushrooms grow on what we consider to be dying things?
I believe I once read a
Yes.
book on it, actually, but I have to admit it was fairly dull, and I didn't necessarily take good notes.
I tried a mushroom once before and it made me unbearably sick.
I do not recommend eating a lot of them, but
Depends on which ones.
Nothing grows from nothing. Those dead trees that you think they are still have life in them. And they
Time
promote
grows
more
off of
life.
nothing.
What was that?
Time grows off of nothing.
Time. That is not a discussion I'm currently capable of partaking in.
Well, let me know when you are, but just in case of it, debunk some of your theories.
I have a
We
question.
need to head out.
I agree. Let's go.
I need to know something
Yes.
on your way out. I need to know what you're intending to do after you leave this cave.
So I actually had a question about that.
Who is asking?
I am, the DM, is asking.
Okay.
We don't
so-
question him.
He's been doing Asher.
So just if it comes up, when we first went down, the druid was going to take the mercenaries back because they were all looking pretty dead, and then he said he was going to meet up with us later, and we've been in here for about 24 hours, give or take. So I don't know if we'll run into him, but I was actually going to ask about that as far as hunting him down because he said he would find us. Or no, he did all that before we went on the unicorn trip, so it's been 2 or 3 days.
It's been a bit.
More like
And
4, I think.
Our biggest hurry was trying to dispel the magic on the book too. But if we
Yeah.
dispelled it and we can safely carry it, do we just want to continue on, or we feel like the book is so precious we need to find who exactly to bring it to, or where are we trying to take it?
A book is a delicate thing to travel with. You don't want it to get ruined by the traveling on the road.
I mean,
Actually, that
this is
sparked
true.
an idea. Alaris, you have your I hate to admit this, your divine senses for knowing things and talking to your
Yeah.
god and knowing things. Now that we have the book and can hold it, would you care to look it over? Maybe that would evaluate on its quantity of knowledge. I mean, maybe it's magically enchanted or something of that nature. I don't specialize there.
I can definitely see if it's magically enchanted, and see what we can get. Yes. Okay,
Say
so
go
I'll do
for
an
that.
Arcana check.
And then
Can I assist in that Arcana check before she rolls?
Yep.
Sweet.
25.
Natural 20.
Okay. And what is it you're trying to determine about the book? Just if it is magical or what?
Yeah, if it's magical, and what other, besides what we found in it, does it have any other capabilities or
Durability.
attributes?
So it is
magically.
magical, and it has a few different auras on it. It is all centered around protecting the book. Like the book, it's magical in the sense that there have been protection wards and spells placed on it to prevent, just like the fire, to prevent unwanted eyes from seeing it. So from seeing the contents. The contents of the book are not magical.
So it basically like all of our spell books, but at the next level.
Well, yeah, kind of, and not with any spells in it.
Gotcha.
Okay. The book
So-
is just protected.
Well, it's good to know it won't be destroyed in a water or rain or anything like that. And then during all this,
That's not the kind of protection I'm talking about. Like it's protected with like glyphs that will explode if you look at the wrong page, or then there's another glyph that will trap you in another dimension if you look at it. It's stuff like that.
So did I trigger any of those just randomly flipping through it?
No, Ilaris already knew about them from last time, and she was able to mark them, and warn everybody about it. So,
Okay, and then I just carefully pat you. Azun takes. Yeah, it was during all this conversation. He is carefully packing it in his backpack, like between things to where it can't move and to where it'll be protected and covered by his bedroll and things of that nature.
okay. So, and you've changed your mind about leaving the cave then?
I
That's information
think
I need.
I think we were still planning to leave.
We do have the book protected now. Like it's not it's secure in the way that we were trying to find an answer for. So
We did have a duty to try to clear out these caves from the goblins. We don't want to, or at least I don't want to, not do my duty. Of what I was contracted to do.
Not everybody in the party
It's
has
not
the
clear.
greatest sense of duty, but
I know.
you can
I know.
you can definitely expect there to be more material rewards throughout the complex here.
I know they don't have a sense of duty necessarily, but I
some
do.
of us do.
And I feel like I need to finish what I started. So
Gehennis, I don't know.
that's my whole thing.
Asher is a merc looking for his payday, and Uriel walked out in the middle of a fight, so
Sounds about right.
Oh, I need to pull up her journal.
Azun is Azun. He's fine. He's just kooky,
I would be interested in seeing what information we can glean off of these goblins. If they're to be around and if they're going to cause someone else danger, then we should exterminate them post haste.
I agree.
Plus, it feels like we're in a ruined city. We don't know what else is here to find.
Exactly.
We have found arguably plenty, but there is also nothing here opposing us from discovering more.
I
My
don't
vote is that
disagree.
we keep going now that the book is protected.
Is it determined that they have a leader of some kind? Usually
Oh, we
goblins.
killed him.
The leader's already
very
dead.
Very good. Then we just need to
Yes.
clear the rest out before they can join up with another strong leader. You're right, Alaris. It is our duty.
As far as we understand.
Yeah, creating a power vacuum in a chaotic evil society can be, in some ways, more dangerous than when it's being led.
I will.
I feel like we need to finish what we started.
I will follow the group, but I simply ask that if anything was to happen to me, that you get this book out post haste. It's bigger than any one person.
I guarantee that I am here to be a champion of knowledge, and I will make sure this book is protected.
As long as we agree on that, I have no problem with further discovery. Though I do feel that maybe the depth of our findings may one day land us in trouble. I speak only from a place of concern. I, for one, have never held such treasures before, and have only heard stories of great treasures and the way they change hands.
I'm sure it will be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
We could all die.
Oh. And the timeline would be safe. After you, my dear boy, and I pat Asher on the back and say, we should be on. As if gesturing you to lead us out.
So, I don't know what everyone else can see, but I know from my map, south has greater potential than north. We last session determined the reason we came this way was because I was pretty sure north was going to lead us in a circle, but south is undiscovered and endless possibility.
And did somebody put that book in their inventory or in the group inventory?
I will. I'll put it in mine.
I mean, it's officially in the campaign diary, the SOP, the group.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna put it in as a as the time book.
Who has it? Specifically, he has it. Well,
Drag a book from the compendium so it brings the weight with it too, and then you can just put the note on it.
Okay.
There is a book on the group loot character.
We're good to continue on. I can do this. It'll just take a second because I got to drop my journal out a window.
Group loot. Okay.
Shall lead us south.
One moment. I've got a couple things opening here. Looking at the old spinning wheel.
Quick question for you. Do I have to drop it specifically in the inventory section, or if I just drag it over my character
has
sheet?
to be specifically in the inventory section.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it is. It actually already is in the group loot, but yeah, just throw it in. It's 5 pounds, so just throw it in your character sheet, and I'm going to take it off the group loot. I just wasn't sure if you guys found a different book, and maybe there was another book. Because, you know.
That's the book right there.
So, you said the compendium. I'm looking in journals. Never mind. All right, we're good.
The compendium is the eye with the circle around it.
Yep. What subcategory is it under?
Just type book in the search field, and I think it's the first thing that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it says he's wearing heavy armor, but whatever.
He is. We asked him about that. He is specifically wearing heavy armor.
Like scale mail or something.
Yeah, it's a medium armor with a stealth disadvantage. So just
I gotta dump that because that is not helpful. I don't want to just toss it, but I don't want to have it on either. Okay.
Speaking of stealth,
I'm gonna keep it on for now.
Shall we move stealthily?
Yeah. I think we should.
Then I'll take the lightest steps I possibly can.
Whoever's trying to be stealthy, go ahead and roll stealth.
Okay.
Gannis, you can open your character sheet, and you will find a list of skills. Stealth is the second one from the bottom. You want to click on the word stealth to roll that.
Okay.
It should light up when you point at it.
How did you word the books? There's book of exalted deeds, book of vile darkness, enduring spell book.
The first one, the one that just says book.
Okay, that's what I dragged in. I just want to make sure. All right, we're good to go on that front.
I'll be. Well.
Should I redo that stealth check, or you just want to keep the one I have?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, for the future, you can just click on the word stealth on your character sheet. So I'll just count it as a 9 plus your dex, which is probably...
+2.
+2, it's not too bad. That's not great, but not bad. I mean, goblins are not the most perceptive creatures on the planet, so...
I'm not the sneakiest of creatures.
Asher signals back that he's at an intersection that goes west and north. Do you have a preference?
Are we moving
West.
in a downward spiral in our beginning point?
Are we passing the information that Asher relays all the way back? I'm bringing up the rear.
I think so, yeah. And
Then I would probably ask what kind of paths they are. Anything can he see further
to the
than
north is a crafted, like constructed passageway, and to the west is a natural rough cavern.
Do we notice anything about the architecture of these ruins we're entering?
Nothing particularly special that you can see so far, but they're decently crafted. That's all you've really noticed. I don't know how much architecture skill any of the characters really have.
Not a lot here.
Doggy!
None.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, kind of.
Do you want to go north or west?
He or she is fine.
I suggest that we follow crafted path just to see what.
To see what's up there.
It's if it's anything like the room we were just in.
I agree, actually. So north is the crafted path, right?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with north.
Are these torches lit?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of peek around the corner to keep an eye on Asher for his signals.
He's signaling you in.
I will tell the rest and move forward. Anything of note in this room?
There's a treasure chest in the corner of the room. Otherwise, it's pretty barren.
Where did I just get stuck? Okay.
Let's see. Asher is not the best at investigation. What does Uriel have? Uriel has a good investigation.
I was actually gonna say Uriel would probably cast Detect I don't know if you wanted to play or have me play her again.
My
Yeah, you can.
investigation.
Yeah, you can keep playing her. That'd be fine. Well, I'm sorry. What was that?
I have a relatively high investigation.
I was just gonna say Uriel would probably cast Detect Magic here, and
She can cast Detect Magic and assist Gehennis in the investigation to give him advantage.
okay.
Okay.
I'm doing this, but I'm not touching it with my hands. I'm just looking at it.
Okay, the box is locked and trapped. There is a poison trap that will spray out a cloud of poison gas if set off.
Does Uriel detect anything magical around the box or within the box?
I don't know yet. Let's find out.
Let me. There you go.
Oh. Yes, there is a magical
Excuse me.
aura coming through out the box.
Which school would be represented in it?
Hold on a second. Okay, so apparently, I just looked this up because I've always kind of wondered this. A basic plus X weapon typically falls under transmutation,
Okay. So
and I was kind of wondering that. I don't know why it just occurred to me now to look it up, but at any
That
rate,
actually makes sense, though.
the spell enchant weapon is listed as transmutation. So that would be... Come on, wake up. Waiting for my document to load here. That would be a red aura.
All right. I would say, unless of course this chest is 3 foot of wood or dirt, then Uriel would not be able to see it.
No, it's not. So easiest thing to do would just be to stand back and have the mage hand unlock it, really. Let the trap go off, spray the gas in the room, and wait for it to dissipate.
Can we try to disengage the trap or something? Or
Yeah, you can try that.
might as well try.
What he's saying is that if we use the mage hand, then we just set it off anyway, and it doesn't affect any of us. And then we bypass it.
I mean, we could just not turn it off. I mean, either way, we probably should step back.
Right. If someone sets it off by accident,
Right.
they might suffer the consequences of failing.
I have mage hand. If no one else, do you have mage hand?
Of course, I have mage hand.
Okay, some people don't.
There are periodically going to be character sheets for. Oh, I didn't put the mage hand. Yes, I did. Okay, so the mage hand character sheet is accessible to everybody. So if you drag that onto the map, you will get a mage hand spell that will appear. So, and then with the torch, if you drag that on the map, you'll get a torch that appears. And that will have, if we get dynamic lighting working, that will have the properties to light the area. So,
I did not come from traditional wizard training, so I do not have mage hand.
All right, I'll go for it. Everybody back up, please.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and...
Why are we backing up?
This is trapped. Wait, who discovered that? It wasn't me, but I'm like,
I believe Gehenna discovered it.
Yeah, Gehenna.
And I related to all of you.
Okay, great. Yep, it's trapped. And
it's also locked.
And it's also locked. So I'm going to try to disengage the trap and the lock. Actually, who's good at disengaging locks?
I hope our mercenary friend.
I believe I actually am pretty decent at it.
I'm going to try to disengage the trap. If we can't do the trap, we're just going to have to let it go off. And then whoever's good at locks can undo the lock. But I want to use mage hand.
To disengage the trap with a mage hand, the roll has to come from the person controlling the mage hand.
Right.
I'm fairly decent with locks.
Okay, so I'll try to disengage the trap. And hopefully, if we do that, then we'll go to undo the lock. Okay?
Sure.
Okay.
I could potentially do both, but, you know.
Do you have mage hand?
I have a way to get out fast.
Okay.
One did not learn the anatomy of the human and the gnomes and the dwarves and the elves and the Gehennas and the multi-humans and the animal creatures without a fast way to get out.
Go ahead and roll your if you have tools, then roll that. If not, then just roll sleight of hand skill. I don't know if you have.
I'm gonna do sleight of hand. I don't have any tools. So.
I don't know if you have the proficiency in the tools. So if not, it's just sleight of hand.
Think so. Nope. Nobody.
Nope. Okay. So that sets off the gas trap.
All right. So no one's there.
Okay. So after a few minutes, the cloud dissipates. And you now have a locked chest that is not trapped.
All right. Our best lockpicker. Let's go.
You want to knock it, Azun?
The chest opens without issue.
Cool. Okay then.
Nice.
Very nice.
You hear this. You see him tap on the chest, and a very loud knock that does not match the small hand. And he says, "Voila!" And as he says, "Voila," the chest slowly rises. Or the lid of the chest slowly rises.
Cool. Works for me.
Nice.
One does not get into the female steaming bath area without this. I mean,
Bazoon,
what?
Oh,
You
it's
don't.
soon.
need to. That is not necessary.
In
at
the
moment.
future, keep that kind of stuff to yourself.
Who was that voice from God? Holy shit, did anyone else hear that?
That was a voice from Asher.
No.
But
That's not the song you were singing, Asher, when I was showing all the soldiers the imagery.
We had known
Well,
each other for one day.
What do we see in the chest?
what's in the chat right there?
The chat.
Oops.
Ooh, let me
Some good stuff.
go ahead and throw. I'll go ahead and throw that in the journal.
You want to have proficiencies?
I just, for simplicity's sake, provide the value of the baubles. Even though I don't know that there's anybody who can really appraise them, but
Mhm. Well, that is a lot of good stuff there.
That's the heaviest crossbow I've ever seen.
I don't know if anybody can actually even use that.
I don't think so.
Check on Asher. Maybe Asher can use it. If anybody can. But Asher prefers longbow. Does he carry a crossbow at all? He does not. He has proficiency in martial weapons and simple weapons, which I think enables him to use a heavy crossbow.
Yeah.
So I'll put the heavy crossbow in his hands for now. Only because I don't think anybody else can use it. If anybody else wants it, then definitely you get first dibs, but I don't think anybody else can use it.
I'm tired just looking at that thing.
Oh, the chat box. It's Dungeon Master Guide 213.
Yeah.
I was trying to rationalize how damage was. I knew it wasn't 213, but I was like, must be a typo for 2D something.
It's not a typo. It's a page reference.
Yep.
12.
I will suggest that the party get all together and back on the other path as we move along.
I agree. Let's go.
I assume I'm definitely with them. I'm just multitasking, so I may not move accordingly, but I'm with the bulk of the group.
Okay. Duly noted.
I'm just trying to minimize all these copper and silver and platinum references into one total.
And, okay, so your marching order per your standard operating procedures is listed as number 1, Asher in front, then Azun, and then Uriel, Alaris, and Khaldul bringing up the rear. So, we'll stick Giennis in the middle for now, right after Uriel.
Sounds good to me.
Huh? Oh,
There was a little hiccup. I had a little hiccup. Asher always scouts ahead, basically, is, he's a ranger. He's ranging. Doing the whole ranger thing.
I brought this flute along. I don't think I'll get the chance to play it.
Not right now, but, eventually.
Zune, are you still making a map of the area?
Yeah, he is. He got, like, a critical success on his map drawing, so I'm assuming I'm just applying it to the entire cave. So that basically your map is this image. Just zoom out as I reveal it, and that's your map.
I also have the Wanderer background, if that helps him at all for future stuff.
Okay. He cautions you to pause there, and there is a trouble ahead.
Kind of trouble.
Looks like goblins.
Hey.
Oh, I don't have I gotta copy somebody over.
What's the plan?
Goblins on the north side.
How many?
3 goblins.
Oh, it's nothing at all.
I think the plan should be to
Fuck the goblins up.
Maybe lure them back here.
Caldo, maybe you should take point with Asher.
I can do that. Sure. I will move forward. But at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and
I'll unlock the tokens for just a moment while you get positioned. And everybody can roll stealth for a chance at surprising them. Doodly doo. Hey, where'd my goblin character sheet go? There it is.
oh, well, that's pretty good.
So the first stealth was on Uriel's sheet. Second stealth was on mine.
I will move up behind Asher and
Yeah, don't go
apply
past this
my-
point, because if you do, I'll have to lock the tokens and start the combat.
Gotcha.
But otherwise, you can take a moment to do whatever you're going to do.
Yeah.
For those who have
going-
mage armor, There's a thing on your sheet to add it to your armor class. You can just tick that box and it'll be on your armor class.
Hmm.
I think it should be there.
I just changed my armor class, so 3 more.
Me too.
Before we begin, I will activate my wild shape symbiotic entity. Get 12 bonus hit points. That lasts for 10 minutes or so.
Okay. Okay, and then go ahead and start rolling initiative whenever you're ready. Everybody beat the goblin's perception. So...
I think that worked correctly. We'll see. Yep, worked correctly. Sweet.
This is not my first natural one on initiative. And that's frustrating.
Okay, everybody ready?
Sure,
Yep.
but I don't see my name on the turn order.
You have to click your
You
token
you
before
have to
you
select your
click initiative.
token when you click roll
Oh.
initiative.
So if you click it and then roll again and then just plug in your first number, you can edit the turn order list.
Okay, so my character selected, then I press initiative.
Yep.
On the character sheet. And now just go back. If you go into the turn order, you can click on it and plug in the first number you
You
got.
can take the better one. That's fine.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Why, thank you.
Azun, you're first.
I don't think it changed much.
So because of my small stature, can I fit into this space right here?
Yeah, sure.
All right, then I'm going to move here and prepare a firebolt in the event I see something happen. I'm looking for a target. I know they're there. Well, actually, we're on a surprise round, you said, so... can I see the goblin from right here?
Yeah, you can see that they're... Well, if you're going all the way up here, then you can see these two goblins, and you can see that there's a troll behind them.
Now, just going to right here and going to cast Firebolt at the first one I see.
You gonna cast it right now, actually?
Are we in a surprise round, or...?
Yeah, you're in a surprise round. You said initially you were gonna hold it, and then the second time you said you were gonna cast it now.
Yeah, because I forgot we were in a surprise round. I was thinking that combat had just started.
Okay.
So from here to here was 20 movement to move around.
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
So I'm going to cast Firebolt with advantage for 7 damage, and then I'm going to So again, with me being a small character, can I move all the way back to where Asher is, or will he be occupying the space?
You can move to the space next to him.
I don't have enough movement. I can get right on. I can get here and then one more over.
You can't end in friendly space. You can go through it, but
Okay, so I'll just have to end here then. And that's my turn.
okay. You hear some very loud, upset grunts as these two goblins get kicked forward and go tumbling off into this direction. And this troll plows in behind them and takes a few swipes into the cave. You quickly realize he's too big to fit into the cave that you're in, but he is reaching in and he is going to claw. That should auto roll damage, but
There it goes.
14 damage on Asher, assuming a 22 hits. I don't know if it does or not.
So he reaches past me for Asher.
I'm sorry, I meant to say Azun. So, and then the second one does not hit.
Second one does not hit. So 14 points of slashing. Is he also taking a bite at me?
He can't reach his face in there to bite you.
Oh, okay.
So it is Elaris's turn.
It is my turn. Okay. I am going to move up a little bit. If I can grasp my character, that'd be great.
It's not letting you select your character.
No.
Just
Can't
refresh
select my
it.
character.
Do a refresh. It's
Okay.
almost always the answer with Roll20.
I am refreshing. And now,
Oh, we had a long rest.
yeah. Down here. Okay, here we go. All right, now I'll go walk up here. It's not really any space over here. I can't really go over here.
Yes, you can.
Can I go like
You can be in
like this
friendly
last
space.
point?
You just can't end in friendly space.
okay? Well, can I go like right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So big boy, I'm gonna shoot a firebolt at this guy. Just need a second, like reloaded everything. Firebolt. Uh, 19 hit for this guy for 9 damage.
The troll, right?
Yep, the troll.
That's what I thought. Okay. He is on fire and not happy about it.
Fuck you, troll. Be unhappy.
All right, Uriel's turn.
Uriel. Uriel, yes, I totally planned that move. Uriel is right. There she is. So. From right here, can she see anything? Or can she move into
No,
this
not
space?
really. She can't see what's going on from there, and yeah, you can move into that space.
Okay, so she will move to here, and from here, can she see anything?
Yes. You can
Okay.
see everything that's going on from there.
Cool. Let me get the right character sheet. She is going to, sticking to her character and the way she does things, she is going to cause fear on the troll. Wisdom saving throw. Can make a roll at the end of each of his turn, has to beat a 14. So it is now feared. Or it's now frightened state. And that will be Uriel's turn.
Right. Asher is going to Hunter's Mark the Troll. And Hail of Thorns is interesting, but I am going to go ahead and fire my crossbow for 16 damage total.
So 14 landed on the troll.
Guinness, your turn.
I will. Let's see. 5, 10, 15. All right. I'd like to get within line of sight and then pop back out if I have enough movement. Not sure
You
I will.
don't have. You have enough movement to get there, but not back.
But then that
You'd
means
have
that I'll
to-
have to.
Well, no, wait. I take that back. Go back to where you started. Keep pressing W when I mean to press.
No, yeah. He won't have enough to get back.
Yeah, you won't have enough to get back.
That's okay. So I can get here.
You can get there if you dash.
Oh crap! All right. Well then, I will prepare the spell sleep and hold my action.
Okay. And
Good
that
luck, friends.
takes us to Calidorn.
Yay, the person who prepared like 15 minutes ago. All right. I will.
It's real crowded in
I
here.
will tell Hannes that there's a troll.
Oh, good God!
As he's come up behind me.
Troll.
And-
Troll in the dungeon.
Troll!
Yep.
By the hand
They
of
have a
sea.
troll in this cave. And I will cast nauseating poison.
And that's a
on
DC
well,
14 on a Constitution. And who's the target of that
Once-
spell?
Yeah. It is when I hit.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
With
Oh, yeah,
a
there we
melee
go.
attack.
A Dark Icarus Miasma.
What a great bonus action.
Yeah, that is the only thing that gets to like boost my melee damage. A lot of fun.
Right
I
on.
will draw my sword, and I will. I'll step through the troll for now. All in there. Under it, around it, whatever it took. And then two-hand attack.
You can't go through the troll's space.
Can't go through? Okay. Then I'll stand where Azun is. Where he functionally is for this.
How come we
attack.
can't move through the troll space?
It's just a rule of D&D.
Yeah. Your enemy's probably not gonna let you like scoot through. That's not
I
an
think
empty space.
rogues
right there,
can
is
do
it?
like sort of a tumble through that they can, if I'm not mistaken. I might be thinking of Pathfinder, but
I thought halflings could do it because they're so small.
halflings might be able to do it. There's probably exceptions, but generally speaking, you can't move through enemy space.
Right.
Only friendly.
Yeah. So is this spot right here?
For
Is that enough to-
Azun, he could fit there, but a human-sized character cannot. Medium-sized character cannot.
Okay.
Oh, there
Well,
was sizes too. I was talking about sizes the other day with my other group and with you guys. So magical items, the subject came up that they resized. Sorry to kind of sidetrack here. I was gonna say, I noticed that like magical armor and magical clothing and such, more so armor than anything else, they will still add the weight to your encumbrance. In older versions of the game, the armor does not resize, but it does.
Right.
It does, it counts as basically weightless. So I was going to allow the players to choose as a group. We can either have armor, like magical armor and clothing that resizes according to the size of the character that uses it, or that does not count against your encumbrance.
I think the
Yeah, you can think
resize
about that later, but I just wanted to bring that up while it popped into my head. So it kind of a sidetrack there, but
Gotcha.
I'll mention a conversation I had after the fight.
All right. Well, I'll step into Azun's spot to swing at this guy, and then I'll finish by. I'll probably stay where I am, movement wise.
sure, okay.
But hit him with 25.
Yes.
So it rolled the crit. That is 14 slashing. Then it is Halo of it is symbiotic entity, 1d6, and then 1d12.
Ooh.
So a total of 22 for me. Because those other two won't double on the crit.
Nice
It's
hit.
just the attack damage, I think.
Damn.
So, just a quick question on that. From what I understood, criticals double all dice damage. They don't double. So, like, if I was a warlock and I crit, my hex would be doubled, but
It's
not
not.
my.
It's not like ×2. What it is it's 2 dice.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, like, his spores ability, that's a 1d12. I read that. Yeah, his 1d12 poison would be 2d12 poison on a crit.
I think that's
So-
right. Yeah, I think that's right.
So it's just not modifier damage. It's not enchanted weapon damage, modifier damage,
It's
things
just
like
the dice.
that. But it's all dice. So if your spores were based on your weapon swing, they would be doubled. That enhancement you gave your weapon would also be doubled. It's everything that's double, or everything that would apply with the weapon swing. So like if your spores don't apply with weapon and they're just an aura for being in range, they wouldn't double. But everything on the weapon swing would
Yeah,
double.
you can double it.
Alright.
You can go ahead and
That
roll
is
another d12.
That's another d6 and another d12. Well. Okay.
Rough.
So 29.
I already took the 22 off, so I'm just taking another 7 off.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 29 total.
And I will slide back to my spot with that. And tell Lazoon to have a go at it.
All right, you're up, Azun.
What do I know about trolls? Seeing this giant ass troll. I mean, definitely giant for being 3 foot. I mean,
I'm
gonna be
gonna
a colossal.
read into your question that you're asking if your characters would know that they are more vulnerable to acid and fire, and I just treat that as common knowledge. That's
Okay.
just something that pretty much everybody knows.
Okay. And then with me being a small creature, can I pull this maneuver here?
Yeah. Oh, you mean are you trying to go through the enemy space?
Technically, but like I'm trying to go through the space between basically the troll and the.
Okay.
If
You
you see
can
the-
go right under the troll's legs if you do an acrobatics check. The goblins are too small, but you can do it with the troll.
All right. Is that going to take my action, or is that just part of my movement?
That would be your movement, and it will provoke an attack of opportunity from the troll.
Okay. I'll go with the acrobatics. 19. Oh wait. Let me. That was Uriel's sheet. So it was a 19, but let me check. My dex is a 3, so it's actually better.
17 plus 3 is 20. Do you have any proficiency in acrobatics?
That's what I'm double checking. I do not. So it would just
So
be...
it's 20. Okay, 20 is good enough. So you get through. He's going to take a swipe. I think... Yeah, a 17 hits you.
let me double check the wording on something real quick.
Okay.
I may or may not shield. Oops. Didn't mean to link it.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, actually I will shield because it started my next turn. So I will shield there.
Sure, okay. So that claw does not hit
level
you.
1.
And just so you know, with Zune, he already had disadvantage, so yikes.
So, well, even still, yeah, that's rough rolls. So then I will. What do I see this way? Just to make sure I'm not.
Oh yeah,
walking
I'm gonna say you really don't have the chance to, without taking the rest of your action, to look in that direction very carefully.
Okay. I'm definitely going to back away from the troll. I don't know if this guy here gets an attack of opportunity.
He does. The troll already used his, so
it'll have to be a 21 or better.
yeah, to be a negative.
Negative. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, he's gonna take another step back, and knowing what he knows about trolls, and having seen it took a mighty cleave from our druid friend, going to firebolt the troll for 9 damage. Unless the troll has an AC of 23.
Mm-mm. No, his AC is really not that great. Okay. That is the end of your turn, I think. Is that right?
Azum would honestly take one more step back, but I just don't have map to work with. One step back would be his full movement, so he kind of went for like a full dash, jump, roll kind of thing, and just kind of landed at the end of his range, trying to distance himself from all this weaponry and.
Okay, I can give you enough to take one more step back. So.
All right. Yeah, looking at the troll, but that's how far back I move. No idea what I'm backing into.
Okay.
That'd be my turn.
Cool.
Quick. Sorry, not to wreck on this. Can the troll make an attack of opportunity while frightened?
I think so, but let me go back to.
'Cause he-
Can you pop fear into the chat
I think
again?
he's just
for me?
afraid of his target and has to use his movement to get as far away from from the fear person.
That plus he has like disadvantage on attack, I think.
Yeah, it just didn't.
Disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. It can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
Yeah, its fear is like a general effect. It does not. It's not like just about the one who cast it, but he has to move away from the one who cast it.
Right. I was just double checking that because the frightened status was not listed in the spell as far as what frightened covered.
I can look at that too just to make sure, but I think I've got a pretty good handle on it. Let me take a look though.
The status stuff I know nothing about, but I was just thinking in my head, if you're afraid of it.
Yeah, frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. Cannot willingly move closer to the source of its fear, and it only has disadvantage while the source of the fear is within line of sight.
So Uriel is in the same line of sight she cast it in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that necessarily means he sees it, but she saw it when she cast it.
But I think he's also poisoned.
Is that just an instant, same thing, disadvantage on ability and attack rolls? But, yeah, okay, so... Movement of 30 feet. Oh, he's gonna dash away.
Gonna dash?
And he gets to make a save at the end of his turn.
The hell did he go?
For
right.
14.
Anybody get a reaction from him running?
So he's... still
Everybody was at
frightened.
least
Wow.
5 feet away, so the closest one was Asher, and he had one open space, so
Gotcha.
nothing he can do. Because the troll didn't fit through this little corridor right here.
Gotcha.
My turn?
Yes, it is Alaris' turn.
Alright. Cool. Oh. I guess I'll move right here. Okay. I am going to do sleep on these guys.
All right.
Did I do it? No. Oh, here it is. 28 hit points worth of creatures on these two.
Is there any saving throw on that? I can't remember.
DC 13 at the bottom.
Yeah, DC 13.
Let me.
No, wait,
think there is
actually.
one.
No, I don't know why it's
It just affects whoever. It just says that. I don't know why it says that, but no, it just
Yeah.
affects whoever
It's a total HP
with the
thing.
28.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll go to the lowest HP target, and if it doesn't have enough to get to the next target, the spell ends.
Okay. They're asleep. So, and in answer to your question, the damage done from your firebolt cannot be regenerated. It doesn't stop regeneration.
So we have to physically set it on fire to stop regeneration.
Nothing stops its regeneration. What it is you have to do all of its hit points and damage, which that can all be just weapons or whatever if you want to. But then the last bit of damage has to be done, or somewhere in the process it has to have taken some fire damage. So the 18 damage that's been done, I think it's 18. Let me double check.
It's whatever my firebolt.
It is. It's
29.
18. So the 18 damage that's been done cannot be regenerated by the troll. The damage from the crossbow bolt and the spear hit with the poison, that can all be regenerated. Does that make sense?
Really?
Okay, I was just making sure because it says if the troll takes acid or fire damage, this trait does not function.
Oh. You're right. It does say that.
But
I'm gonna go with that.
Not to undermine you. I've seen it played both ways, where it's like you can knock it to 0 and then set it on fire or pour a bunch of acid over the wounds and keep it dead.
Yeah.
And then I've also seen what you're saying, where the fire or acid damage can't be regenerated to basically knock its total HP down lower. But until you drop it and set it on fire, it'll just keep getting up as long as it has some HP pool to pull from. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, I don't know how I even missed that actually. So no, I'll do it rules as written. It's actually a little less homework for me, so that makes it a little easier. So I'm gonna do. It regenerated 10 hit points. I'm gonna take those back off. So Ilaris took her turn. Yeah, she cast sleep. Okay, so Goblin is asleep.
Yep, I'm done.
Okay, cool. So it is Uriel's turn.
Uriel, knowing what's going on with her spell, is going to move to here to keep line of sight on said feared creature. That's a zoom. And what is she gonna do? She is going to... She's gonna toll the dead on the troll to protect her friends. DC 14. I don't know if the fear is I don't know if the disadvantage is on skill or saving throws as well. I know we just posted that.
Toll the dead on the troll.
Yep.
And that's a wisdom save.
Yep.
Oh, the troll is really good at wisdom saves. That's a bad choice.
14, so he makes.
Oh,
save.
wow. Yeah, that's a pretty lucky bit of rolling. I was being sarcastic. The troll is terrible at wisdom saves.
Troll's dumb as a rock and bright as a bulb, or a blown bulb.
Bright as a blown bulb. Anything else for Uriel? She can do a shield spell.
No, she's feeling good. The two creatures are asleep, and she's just keeping line of sight on her fear, which I imagine she knows if the spell ended. if it broke on the save. So she's keeping it.
Oh
in
yeah,
her
she would know
sights.
that.
Yeah, so she's just keeping it in her sights, which she has direct line of sight on both squares there.
Fear is not concentration, so you can just keep that going.
Right.
So
Yeah, so that's her turn.
And the hunter's mark. And the troll is dead. Okay. Guinness. Your turn, my friend.
Okay. I move the 30 feet in front of these two goblinoids here. And I raise my hand, and Dragon's Breath descends in a 15-foot cone upon these two goblins.
What kind of dragon's breath?
Definitely fire. Yeah. I don't know if it linked.
I think they auto fail their deck save.
Yep.
Oh, do they? Well, okay, so I clicked it, but it didn't do any of the rolls or anything.
So if you go,
Did you type
go
that
back to your-
manually into your character sheet, or did you use the
I
compendium?
did, because I suck at putting the spells on Roll20.
If you go to the little eye with the circle around it, that's the compendium. And I have made all the compendiums I own available to all the players. So that is everything in core and a whole bunch of accessories. And if you end up like there's something you want to do with your character and another accessory, I will usually try to buy that within a week or two. Usually within a week, but you can just like do you can just type Dragon's Breath into the search and then just drag it right onto your character sheet.
Okay. For the sake of time, can I just roll 3
Oh yeah.
d6?
Oh yeah, totally.
All right. I'll mess with that after.
Yeah. So, but I'm just letting you know because that's kind of a big part of what you're paying for when you pay me $10 a week. Is I'm providing the compendiums and
Gotcha.
that kind of stuff.
I feel your pain. I am also a D&D Beyond personnel.
Yeah. All right.
I have very
emulate
limited
the-
knowledge on.
I just have to work with the character sheets more in Roll20, but yeah, I'll definitely mess with that later. But yeah, I immolate them both with Dragon's Breath.
Okay, they are protesting the Vietnam War.
Is there anything left?
As soon as combat ends, Azun's going to go to the troll's body and just throw a couple of fireballs, just hitting all the critical points he can think of. The head, the chest wounds that Calidorn put in it, just everywhere, just trying to make sure it doesn't reach him.
Cool. Double tap. Rule number 22.
That's right. The Gib rules.
Now's not the time to get all stingy with your bullets.
That's right. He's double, triple, quadruple tapping.
Are you gonna leave anything behind to search?
Apparently not. The troll was nude. You could clearly see he's got nothing on him. So
I kind of look at the troll and I look at Gehenna and I'm like, you kind of have a point. I just didn't want it to get back up. Some of my studying said that these things, they don't particularly like staying down unless you use fire or acid. So I just thought I'd get kind of friendly with and he shoots another firebolt at it with these firebolts to make sure it stays down.
I shoot one too, and I say, "Well said."
So, and this
Is there anything
is
going on in this room?
this is a waterfall right here, and you can see how it's kind of feeding this pool to some degree.
Is it looking at the waterfall, or can I assume the same process? It's feeding into somewhere, considering the volume of water moving into it.
Yeah.
I'm going to call the party over here to evaluate the situation. Do we want me to go for another swim and check this out, or I don't know if there's other options farther down, but it definitely seems like this volumetric water fall is definitely feeding into a surplus of somewhere, or else the volume of water would fill up this chamber in roughly, and you see him do minor illusion and start making calculations in the air. In about 43 minutes and 50 seconds, so it's definitely going to be feeding to somewhere roughly the size of. Does another illusion, starts doing more calculations.
I could just summon a friend and have him swim in the water.
Oh, you can do that?
Of course.
That is we round a fire water, and then another, and we really just gotta talk.
And I cast Find Familiar and produce an octopus and say, "This is Grimnez. Grimnez, go!" And I send Grimnez the octopus. It's a black octopus with milky black eyes and purple spots all over his body. Send him in the water, and then I see through his eyes as he goes down. If there's anything in there worth searching.
There's kind of a passageway that one of it goes basically in this direction, and then from there it kind of splits off and goes in this direction. So Asher and pretty much anybody in the party can tell you that there's links between some of these different pools and such. So
Okay. So after determining that the octopus is swimming much further than I could hold my breath, I bring him back and tell the party, yes, there are about 2 different directions we could go in. However, I don't think you would live long enough to reach the other side. Therefore, we should continue walking.
I would ask him specifically how long it went, because I know we once made a venture roughly 4 minutes long.
Well, not long, but octopi swim faster than non-water natives. So it's close to the same duration that you had before. So probably Azun would beg to differ, but I wouldn't go left because the current is going this way. So, but if you go right, you'd be going with the current.
I'm no strong swimmer, so if you could, then by all means.
Oh wow, that was a perfect arrow.
I mean, we could. I know you weren't here for this, but we use some hemp rope to help. Not everyone here is a strong swimmer. I'm not a particularly great swimmer, but you'd be surprised how long I can hold my breath. Spas. You gotta be able to hold your breath to do your research. So I have a lot of practice in that, but I would be willing to scout ahead and check it out, and maybe we could do a little bit of a hemp rope trick here to give everyone else a lead on it, so they can just follow the rope and.
I'll send Grimnez with you if you would like to scout, or we could finish checking out the one route with the current without putting any of us in danger.
Oh, definitely with the current. I mean, the currents are strong. There's not a... And you see Azun lift up his robes, and he's actually pretty ripped. I'm not really that strong of a person, but I can definitely understand if some stronger swimmers want to go the other way. I was more going with the current.
So we send Grimnez in back in and see where the water comes out.
Okay. To the right?
To the right.
Okay, the water comes out right here, and I'll just do a little reveal on that so you can see it.
And if he pops his head out to look around, is there any imminent danger or anything of interest?
You can't really see anything right there. Yeah, he doesn't really see anything right there other than just the cave floor and the opening, and that's about it.
All right.
Oh, I'd assume we all did this as characters. Gehennis, we all basically start with a walkie-talkie, our communication crystal in this world.
Yeah.
So
Basically a
all,
cell phone.
so all you have to do is tap with someone else to basically be able to think about them and communicate with them. It relays all information audibly with the ones we have. We have the very base models, but we basically have walkie-talkies. They're only within this world or within this dimension. I can't remember.
World.
Okay.
So if you leave the planet, they will not function.
But
Okay.
anywhere within the planet, if you think of the person that you've touched stones with, you can talk to them. So anyone, I don't know if that fits into your backstory as well. You probably had someone.
Oh, he definitely would. There's no question.
Yeah. So wherever that may come up, if you wanted to ask, like, let me reference this.
The only characters that wouldn't have it are pretty much the ones who are raised by wolves, more or less. I mean, figuratively speaking, and literally.
So like our grumpy druid,
sure.
it's kind of weird. He has it. So,
Gotcha.
but just as a side note, so that's one way like you would know we could communicate.
So I bring Grimnaz back.
Okay.
Caldul, you bring up an excellent point. I did not consider all these things we're carrying. Kind of looks Caldul and Asher over carrying all the plate. This would be problematic. Let me think on it.
Well, you're thinking we could just walk in this direction. And I point towards the way we came.
He brings up a good point. I'll come back to this when I have an idea and a solution, but we could definitely see what's on this level.
It didn't seem like there was anything worthwhile that we needed to go that way immediately.
Let us walk.
Okay. Intersection, northeast, west, south. Are we going east, west, or south?
Using my infrared, what do I see?
You can see a set of recent footprints that were left by some creature going in this direction.
So I'll gesture.
They're still
Okay.
warm footprints.
I'll gesture Asher to follow me back, and I'll come back to the party and explain that there's been recent travel to the west, and that if we're here to clear out the goblins, clear out goblins, there's definitely a good indication of recent traffic to the west. That might be our intended target.
It didn't look like a giant troll's tracks. What did I tell you?
They were smaller
We
feet.
just killed
They
one.
were probably goblin.
They looked roughly the size of my feet.
Oh.
I don't know of many goblin or trolls that tap dance, but if they did tap dancing or ballerina, maybe it could be them and they're tiptoeing.
Fair point.
Just don't want to discount the possibility of trolls at this point. I mean, we've seen one. I mean, though, this is a narrow corridor and it's narrow up there as well. He'd have to be a really in-shape troll.
There's nothing to do but to look. I say.
Let's go.
A gesture to Asher. To lead on.
Yes, Asher, risk your life for us, please.
I wouldn't really put it like that. It might lower your self-confidence. I assume we're traveling stealthily, so I will make a stealth check roll. Or Zune will, having seen Asher sneak off, make a stealth check roll and imitate. You do not even hear the patter of his small feet, and his rambling seems to have stopped.
Asher, what do you see? I'm using the walkie-talkie thing.
Oh, so just to clarify, when you say that, it audibly says it out loud for Asher, which you would know. So, like, if he was sneaking, all of a sudden his walkie's literally going off.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. So there's higher level magical crystals in this world we've been told about, and all of us would know about that are mental communication. But we have the baseline, first edition iPhone 1.
That's what you meant.
Yeah. So
Basic
you would know that.
Smart stones.
Yeah. So you would know all that as a character.
All right. Then I don't say that.
There's a large cave up ahead with some vermin and goblins.
I will.
Don't cross this threshold.
I'll gesture everyone forward as they come around the corner as soon as I am second.
Should we see what else is around before we engage in combat? Since we know there's enemies there, we might want to make a second retreat point. I use my infrared to look off in this direction and this direction.
Okay. There is nothing but cold cave. Make a perception check.
Okay. Big money.
Not so great. So it's just cave. You can see some twisting in its natural cave, not constructed.
Well, should we just make sure that there's nothing ready to waylay us as we initiate combat?
I don't disagree with your heads up, but it is some calculations, and if we go into these places and make noise, then we equally grab the attention of said cavern over there if we consider the way web travel. And he just kind of goes on to a ramble about sound travel.
So what you're saying is we should initiate the larger group first.
Asher,
because the smaller group is less of a threat.
Asher tells you that many people assume that sound travels further than it does underground. But it does travel. And you're right to be concerned about sound.
Maybe... I'm not discounting your idea. I'm just saying maybe only one of us search. I don't know who's all super stealthy. I'm pretty small, so it makes me hard to see, but... I don't know if anyone's well-versed in the art of sneaking around. I just have practice sneaking around places I shouldn't be.
Uh-oh.
So we should just look.
I'm just double scanning Uriel's stuff to make sure Uriel doesn't have something I didn't think of. Oh, Uriel is going to suggest having remembered what his familiar was, that she used her cat to just investigate these extra pathways.
All right.
Noting that she would know this, not Azum, but noting that yours is currently a squid, hers is always a cat.
Yeah, mine's wrapped around my shoulders.
So,
Do you take them to hockey games?
I do.
Nice.
But they're amazingly agile on land,
nice.
as well as in the water.
Do you know that octopuses are playful?
yes.
What
If they
I've
weren't
seen
such
so many aqua. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if they weren't such escape artists, I'd probably actually have an octopus as a real life pet.
I just like how similar to mind flayers they are.
What's the kitty's name again?
Oh, good question. I don't have that journal.
Uriel had a snake.
Oh no, it was a
What?
snake. You're right.
I had a cat.
You have a
Lawrence
cat,
has the cat.
Uriel has a snake.
so the snake would have infrared. But either way, the suggestion was made, not necessarily use that familiar, just now a snake, but to use a familiar to investigate.
What is your kitty's name?
My kitty's name?
It's
Yeah.
named Kitty.
Vaughn.
Vaughn?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Elvish for ice.
Can we name these familiars, or are they just?
You sure can.
Uh-huh.
What I mean is like our little tokens.
Yeah.
Is mine out, or is it just?
I don't think so. I haven't made an octopus token yet.
Okay,
So,
not a super big deal.
So
Yeah.
Yuri
We'll
would
get-
know
we'll
this.
get there.
Sure.
Is the snake particularly stealthy?
I'm going to put a little aura on this because it's so tiny, you might have a hard time seeing it. So, Vaughn has a little yellow aura.
Okay.
That doesn't mean anything, it's just so you can see it.
But yeah, because I don't have the snake familiar up or anything.
I
Are
hit
they-
in mine.
Go for it.
Okay, what is the
Just a
snake's name?
large snake.
Fuck if I know. He gave it some unique ass elvish name, and I can't remember.
Okay.
He used it at the goblin camp, but that's all I remember.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's the auto-generated name for this character. Spinning wheel, spinning wheel, spinning wheel, spinning wheel. Thank you.
Sassinatil. It's a good snake name. Respectable.
Works.
But yeah, Alaris, go for it.
Okay. We'll go down and look through my familiar's eyes. See what's going on. Can't control this, but
Oh, hang on. Try it now.
I think I got it. Okay. I'll go down this first corridor. Okay, so I can see through their eyes, but I'm blind and deaf, basically. I'm looking through their eyes. So
You mean like your actual character is blind and deaf?
yeah. So it's a corridor. Keeps going. Wait, let me look. This connects. Yeah, okay. It connects around. It keeps going.
Your kitty's hair stands up on the back of its neck, and you feel this adrenaline going through it of fear, and you have a strong flight response.
I think there's something coming up here. We've gone down. Both of these tunnels kind of connect together, but it looks like there's something. There's something coming up. I'm just gonna flee back. I think there's something up there that we need to take care of.
Asher, you mentioned that sound doesn't travel as well. Given the corridors that Alaris has described, would we be safe going down this route without alerting those to the west?
Most likely. Can't promise it, but I think there's enough twists and turns that it should absorb all the sound. Also, spider flesh is pretty soft. It won't make a whole lot of noise as it dies.
Spiders?
Nobody said anything
I might have-
else.
Oh, whoops. You're right. Nobody did. We'll just ignore that comment.
There's something coming up, but we're not sure what it is.
Eat spiders.
Something
Before we jump to the gun, what's to the east of us? I know we got some people standing closer east.
Yes, Asher.
I mean, east and like north.
I'm using cardinal directions on the map, not necessarily just for an easier reference. So
Well, yeah, like northeast.
To the right of us.
yeah, to the right of us.
Yes.
There's another cave that goes to the east.
Using no logic whatsoever, I feel like this is the best route.
I'll scout ahead.
I'm just going to keep a line of sight on Asher while he scouts. And let him determine what he finds. Yeah, I can see back, or I can roughly see around both corridors if I'm peeking around corners.
He gives you a warning signal. Trouble ahead.
I'll gesture him back to the rest of us.
Never did apply that long rest. I gotta put his long rest back on.
That's the biggest thing I miss from D&D Beyond. It's one button. Everything does what it's supposed to.
I have a script for long rest, but I always forget what the commands are. Like, I need to make myself a little cheat sheet or something. So I can type in rest long or like I said, I can't remember what it is ever, and it will apply a long rest to your character.
Well, it seems like there's danger all around.
Asher, what did you see?
Indeed.
Goblins and spiders.
Spiders.
Spiders? Like what? Like little spiders or
No. Giant spiders.
like giant to you or They're giant to me.
Giant to me, and probably much more gianter to you.
And how many did you see?
Does it really matter?
I saw
He
3.
saw giant spiders.
Azun,
Three.
you just killed a troll.
I mean, you're right. I did just fuck these spiders. Do we want to
Fuck
kill
these
spiders?
spiders.
I'll kill some spiders. I'm not afraid.
Where's bardic inspiration when you need it?
But that being said, Uriel, seeing his plight, will hand her last red minotaur to him. And he will gulp it down in anticipation for these spiders.
Hey, Thor, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that I joined the party, you said I gave them an item from the Wood Elves. Was there anything useful?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. That did not get linked.
It
There's several
was
useful
a
things.
potion of healing, potion of invulnerability, spell scroll of non-detection, +1 dagger, and +1 heavy crossbow. And Asher took the +1 crossbow, but everything else is still available as far as I know. Nobody has put on the robe of stars yet, so it's not in use that I'm aware of.
That's between Khaldul and Alaris.
I don't really want it, so I don't know.
It's just been sitting so far since we haven't had an hour to deal with it.
True. We'll worry about it later.
It was a tune, wasn't it? That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what's the plan? I have an idea or two, and I know Uriel's quite the clever mage. Asher, did you?
I say we lie in wait and ambush them. Asher makes a distraction, pulls them back here, and we waylay them.
Oh, he's
Potentially that.
clever.
We all prepare ourselves a spell and cast it as soon as we see them. They won't know what hit them.
Sounds good to me.
You must have read a lot of military books. Very clever with strategy.
I've been on an adventure before.
Azun made a stealth check, and okay, he got a really good stealth check. There's a suit of +1 plate armor that nobody has taken yet. I don't think anyone else can. And as long... Go ahead.
I say we have it currently divided up, I think, between me, Khaldul, and Asher in different pieces to split up the weight. And
Asher is not proficient in heavy armor. I was thinking we should just put it on him since he's already got disadvantage on stealth. Why not just put him in the better armor? But he actually is not proficient to wear it.
He didn't sub it out. We gave him the breast and back plate.
I'll
just kind of
check.
Slide on over.
I think Calidorn only has the only enchanted leather, or leather in general, that we ran into. So there's not really anything he can swap into.
Yes, I can confirm that.
Yeah.
Let me, so I think I can, let me see. But you guys can start formulating your plan anyway, so.
I'll just
Okay, so I could,
light
like,
them all on fire.
Try to draw them towards us and have our spells ready to blast them.
Uriel, or not Uriel, Alaris, can you also put creatures to sleep?
I can.
We could potentially. I know Uriel can. I would say several of us could attempt to put them to sleep as they come in, and then deal with them one by one. Asher make a big commotion and just run straight away, maybe acting surprised and stumbling across them, and then as they show up, we just put them to sleep, and then we handle them accordingly.
Like that.
I can't do it many times, but I can also restrain. And well, it's complicated, but let's just say that if things get really hairy or eight-legged sideways, I definitely have a trick up my sleeve to give us the advantage.
I could also cast sleep, but we have more enemies to deal with, and I'd like to save it until we really need it.
Oh, I concur. I'm not saying we all do it at the same time. I'm just saying we could, make an order of people doing it as they see things. One of us take the point, and then if something gets past them, we help until there's only one thing that we're dealing with.
Well, you go first, and then
so
I'm not an expert, but Uriel, I've seen many times put things to sleep. She's definitely.
So we're trying to funnel these guys into this chamber. Is that the idea?
Yeah, I think the general idea would be if Asher creates a commotion, we get line of sight somewhere in this general vicinity.
So we're trying to funnel them into this area?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to
yeah,
make
if
sure
Asher shoots one or something like that.
Just want to make sure I know what's going on.
Don't want him to overcommit.
Sorry, DM, you weren't invited to this this text.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay.
Stay out.
It's a surprise for you too.
I'll just
only Asher knows.
Do my thing here.
Yeah, so Asher.
While we're doing this, I'm just going to start throwing initiatives.
Please roll better than last time.
And if you haven't already rolled a stealth, if you want to be stealthy, roll that when you roll initiative.
Wow, I rolled a 2 and a 2.
I want you to look at my 2 nat 1s for stealth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you got a +6 and you get only an 8.
I'm so quiet, nobody can hear me. He's like
Is it a good time
crash cymbals.
I have this flute.
Out the barrels.
Yeah,
And
this
that
is the
one
moment
here.
where I trip and manage to knock the plate bracers against the the greaves or whatever, and just make a whole bunch of noise.
That's not being stealthy at all.
I like the idea that Asher's just walking by and he's like, I don't know how to be stealthy. I don't know what's going on. Don't read too much into this.
You want a commotion?
It's weird that didn't list as a goblin, but whatever.
What do you mean that didn't?
In the initiative list, it's just their token, but it doesn't say goblin.
Oh.
But whatever.
They don't have goblin under them, so I guess that's what. Maybe that's what it takes.
But do you guys have your plan, or are you still planning?
We're good. I think.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We know exactly what we're doing.
think Uriel's taking the first cue here. And
So
then
it's Uriel, Alaris, and then me for sleep. Like if we need it.
Last though.
Oh, okay. Well then, I'll go for sleep if Uriel, for some reason, it doesn't work.
I'm assuming the first sleep goes off, and then it's like all combat. Every plan lasts until the first fire shot.
Mm-hmm.
But Uriel is the go person. You're looking to her to be like, did you do something? You did something. Okay, now I got to do something.
All right, cool. Very well.
Okay, so here goes Calidorn.
These boots have seen everything.
Just, I don't have much to do because I don't have sleep like the others. I will just move. It's 15. Works. I'll just move there and keep myself ready by doing a magic stone cast into my little pouch.
Okay, you drop the stone and it skitters like across the rock, clattering loudly, getting the attention of all of your enemies. And Asher says, "Oh, shit."
Just sorry, but that's what we wanted, right?
Okay, did you have any other action to take?
Nah, that was all.
Okay, then I am going to Hunter's Mark the Goblin and get a big fat 1 extra damage and shoot it with my crossbow. And it's dead. Giannis, it is your turn.
Sorry, I'll creep out here, and do I have a line of sight?
Stealth has been lost.
Okay, that's fine. Then I will just move all the way out and cast Firebolt on this one. That'll work. Aha. 1 damage.
Ouch, you booger.
And I think I'm stuck out here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yep, I'm stuck out there.
Okay, Azun.
Oh, my turn already. That's awkward. Well, that's not encouraging. Azun, seeing Gehennis abandon the plan, is going to also move out here. Does not have line of sight. So he's going to stick to the initial plan, and he's going to prepare sleep, but he's going to wait and see if Uriel sticks to the plan as well. So he will prepare to cast sleep on targets he sees after Uriel has done something.
Okay, and just hold sleep?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, let me just double check that I'm not looking at the wrong character sheet, because that happened. Because I'm pretty sure I have it, but let's make sure I do. Okay. Yeah, so that's the plan I'm sticking to. Looking to Uriel.
Oh my god.
Okay, Uriel. It is your turn.
Holy, I thought she rolled a 2. Okay. Well, she's going to...
She rolled a 2 on initiative, you mean?
Yeah. I thought she... What did I mean? I don't know. I'm not going to scroll. It's my turn.
I think you did, but... Because the first initiatives at the top of the list were giant wolf spider, and then... when it got to Calidorn, and then there was a goblin. And then when it got to Calidorn, he got a critical fail on his stealth, and so everything else became aware, but most of their initiatives had already passed.
Gotcha. She's going to move to here. She is going to hold her action to look for a better grouping of sleep. But before before Caldoon being the first of the party to go in, before the end of the round, in reference to Caldoon, she's going to cast sleep, but she's looking for better than one target. And that will be her turn. Just holding that.
Okay. And she's done then?
Yep.
Okay, then it is Ilaris' turn.
All right. I cannot move. Okay. I'm going to reload that real quick. Reload. Gonna move up when I can. Wait, let me do it now. Free. There I am. Okay, so I'm gonna move right here. And I'm gonna cast a firebolt at this giant wolf spider.
Okay.
Loading. Firebolt.
Oops.
There we go. Okay. So firebolt at the wolf spider for 22 to hit and 6 damage.
Hold.
What's going on? It's weird. My computer's doing something weird. Okay. Whatever. Gobbles.
I'm done.
Okay. Here comes charging goblins. Rah! And here comes spider. I don't know that they really make any sound.
I think that was accurate.
I imagine. Yeah, that's the exact sound I make. Ugh.
So
Okay.
before Caldoon goes, that will trigger...
Your sleep spell?
It'll trigger Uriel's sleep.
Okay.
So now she will cast sleep. To 30, and That's what I wanted to do. What is it? 20 foot within 20 feet of a point you choose. So she will place it in a way that does not cause friendly fire, which will probably be back here. Yeah, she can reach everything back there. So 30 hit points, lowest to highest, trying to put these three to sleep.
Go ahead and roll your hit points. Oh, you did that at the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, it was 30 total.
So 20.
Actually, really good rolls. Holy shit.
That is exactly 30 hit points. That's pretty cool.
All three of them are asleep.
Yeah, I mean, down to the point, yeah.
Nice.
So that would nullify Azun's held action. Seeing 3 are asleep and 1 is awake. That's what we were aiming for. And call you, Caldoon.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got those three asleep. Let's see if I can click correctly. I'll move to there and use my turn to have my sword drawn and throw one of my magic stones at the wolf spider in the back.
Alrighty. Roll
Be
damage
fine.
and hit.
Here we go. 25 to hit.
For 3 damage?
3. Yep. But, hold on. Let me double check damage. I thought I had it fixed. Plus spell casting ability modifier. So 7 damage.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get it fixed in the thing. There it goes. Okay.
One sec. Just got to refresh here real quick. Is Caldoon doing anything else?
Good. Nope. That is all. That is all I can do.
Okay, then Asher is next. Asher will fire his crossbow again. Just gotta recover from my refresh here. So let me get back down to... spinning wheel. Spinning wheel. Thank you. Asher critically misses. And apparently the heavy crossbow is heavier than he thought because it knocked him over. And that will invoke... Nope, because he's asleep. So, Gehennas, it is your turn now.
All right. Well, I will take a few steps back since they're all asleep. And since the goblins are our main concern, I will fire a firebolt at him. With a natural 20, it looks like. Oh, I did it twice, so just take the first one, I guess. I didn't know if it went through.
It hits either way.
Out of 12.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, 12 hits.
Nice.
Wow.
I don't think he has disadvantage, but 12 does hit.
It's prone.
Right, okay. Azun. Sorry, what was that?
No, I was to say that when I first saw his crit, I was like, "Oh, you hate to see it," thinking that he lost it on disadvantage. Seeing him attack the goblin, that makes that easy. I will also attack the goblin with my firebolt for 9. Nine to hit, that is.
And that is this goblin?
That's the only goblin on the screen, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bob, looking for more goblins for 200.
Yeah.
And so Uriel?
Oh, I was going to move.
Oh, sorry.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Just gonna move back here. Uriel. The goblin in front of her suddenly awakening, startling her, will toll the dead.
Did it wake up?
As soon as you do damage, they wake up.
But
That's a DC 14 Wisdom save.
Sorry, bear with me.
And if it fails, it takes 11 damage.
Okay,
See a
it
big
is
gong
dead.
go across its head and shatter it. And then, being startled, she will jump back. I did not sign up for this! Or, I did not sign up for this! I don't know, whatever. Can't do female voices, sorry. Not my repertoire. That will be her turn.
Ilaris.
yes, I'm going to do a firebolt right at that giant wolf spider that I hit before. Right in my line of sight. Ooh. 11. Does that hit?
11 does not hit.
All right. Well, I will stay here. And that's my turn.
I believe they get a save. No, they don't. They don't get a save for sleep. So Calidorn, it is your turn. Remember, it's unconscious, you can just spear it and kill it.
Oh, I am going to spirit.
Spirit.
That is kind of what I do.
Okay.
I will roll just for...
You don't have to roll for a coup de grace.
Yeah. Just, it's the chance to see an unimpactful roll, and, you know.
And Asher will stand back up. And coup de grace the other.
Do I hear any sounds coming from behind us?
You hear a little meow, meow, meow.
I can live with that.
Let me hear, honey.
Meow.
And I'll also mention the cat's making a lot of noise.
Okay. Well, I pick up my cats and pet her. Try to calm her down. All right.
That wasn't really so bad at all.
I got to do something real quick while you guys are looking through the area.
A well-formulated
Azun.
plan.
I told you, you just killed a troll. What's a spider against you?
I really like this guy.
Do we want to check out this area? See what's over here?
What kind of roll would you make to see how much you like someone?
Well, you don't have to roll anything. You can just decide. But
But I'm curious.
insight, maybe?
Insight.
That's like
I'm loving
inciting
it.
yourself.
Yeah, basically, I'm inside. I want to see just how much is like. Yeah, it's sticking with the Zune.
Charisma versus insight. I don't know.
No, he doesn't have to make a roll. Azune's already feeling godlike, having one shot like 8 creatures in a row.
Yeah.
And this guy's boosting him up. I just want to see how far this is getting carried, and he's. You know what? What is a spider? It's just an 8-legged insect. I kill those all the time in the laboratory. Always making nests in the corners, contaminating our research ingredients.
Precisely so. I want to bring Grimnez over here, but I can't control him.
Azune's just gonna walk down here and see what has to be seen.
You mean you're familiar?
Yeah, I can't move him more than like 5 feet.
Whoops. Ignore that.
The whole world just moved. All right, cool. Yeah, I just want to like send him down here to investigate. I will go into his eyes.
You see just some barrels and various. Let's see let me get a little closer, see if I can tell what that is. Some crates.
We'll start.
Not spending much time at all, but like pulling off the lids and stuff. Is there anything in there?
Oh, and there's a broom and a couple pots.
Nothing of any value.
The crates have just some moldy foodstuffs in them. The barrels are all ale.
I use Grimnez's tentacles to slide some of the moldy foodstuffs in Azune's pockets.
All right.
And I send Grimnez away.
The ale has mostly been consumed, but there is one good barrel left.
Azune, having been there to assist the octopus in cracking it open, will take a couple swigs, taste it, and see what it's about.
It's serviceable.
I've definitely had better, but considering where and he takes a couple more, just using his hand to kind of scoop some in his mouth. Probably gets 3 or 4 mouthfuls worth.
Beauty.
Should I roll stealth for the octopus Scribners if I'd like to search the upper area?
You're searching? That's an
Uh,
investigation roll.
okay. I didn't want to like go too far, but I just want to see what I can see up here.
He doesn't find anything particularly amazing.
All right.
I'll just open up that bit of map, and then it kind of turns off to the side.
Well, everywhere we go, we find more and more cave.
I found ale. Anyone? It's not the worst.
I dumped my splint mail and put on the breastplate of the plate mail +1. I'm just counting it as a breastplate +1, which counts as medium armor. And his AC is better, and he does not have disadvantage on stealth.
Nice.
Were those silk gloves in the chest emitting any kind of magical aura, or were they just common silk gloves?
Not magical.
Not magical. Okay.
I wouldn't call them common. I mean, they're worth some money, so clearly
Yeah.
they're pretty nice, but not magical.
Yeah. Worth selling, not worth using.
Yeah. Depending on the character. Some characters like to pimp it out.
I think my fingernails would rip through the silk.
Should we head back the other way, or what are we doing?
I'd like to know what's at the end of this cave.
Azuna's drinking ale.
Want to keep heading east or west, or go back west?
To the right for now.
Okay. To the right it is.
Asher's up here. Asher, you see anything?
Yes.
What?
I see.
just put my hand in my paw. My face.
I see a book on fire.
Another book.
Oh, that's easy. We've dealt with that before.
Yes. Another book on fire.
Huh?
Where?
To the west.
Soon starts catching up. once he realizes no one's around. Oh, I've seen this before. And just rushes
Where is
over
it?
to inspect the book.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. I will.
Do you want me to put the
control the
fire out?
flames.
There you go.
Yes. Put the fire out for us.
If you can do it,
Please.
by all means.
Oh, I cannot.
Oh.
So you
Very
go
well.
right ahead.
I cast control flames and I extinguish the flame. If it works. If the
I
dungeon
don't
master
consider
can hear
it.
our prayers.
I usually you want to click on it to cast it, so I should see
Oh.
it appear in the
Sorry.
Yeah, so that works. Let me switch to the map layer. Maybe I should have just put this straight on the token layer.
And then
Oops, that
Azun
was
is
the book.
Azun is trying to inspect said book.
Oh, okay,
Careful
I
with
see
those
what
books,
happened.
Azun.
Cool.
I'd also like to read this book.
I'd like to look at the last one you picked up.
Who said that?
Gehennas.
Guinness.
Is it
We'll
possible?
see if you can pry it from Azun's hands.
Azun, if you're going to look at the other one, I would like to look at the first one.
I'm
Just to
trying to
see.
read the title.
Oh, by all means. Proceed. But if you could hand me the first one.
Paradoxes.
Like I said, I mean, when we're not in the tank dungeon and stuff, anyone's free to look at it. I mean, me myself, I buried it in my pack to keep it safe. I'd have to unpack everything to get it out.
Now, Gehennas, are you going to bar me from the knowledge that you've already received?
Strange interpretation. That would imply that I've both read the book and understand the information given, and I have done neither.
And maybe I could help you. I'm not trying to hold you up here.
I'm not trying to keep you from it. I really even looked at it. I'm trying to keep it safe.
Very well, then I'll just look at this one.
So yes, let us read this book. On Paradoxes by the same author, Vincent Warmbage.
Do I have any recollection of Vincent Ormbage, being that he's from the... Sorry, I have to look at the thing we called it. Incognitus? That's... I butchered that.
The incognosis.
Yes.
I'm sure you would. He is. He's dead. He's been gone for centuries, and he was very largely. He was a prolific wizard that did a lot of study with Calidorn Isenbor.
Interesting. This seems to be maybe the old laboratory of a time wizard. Both these books are on references to time magic.
Okay, so I should totally have prepared this in advance, and I did not. It's still kind of a sideways household here, but I'm just whipping it together really fast as I can. So give me just a moment, and you might see some stuff in here that doesn't like references real world stuff from our world. If you see that, just extrapolate to, you know, what it would be, if that makes sense. You understand what I mean? Like, there's a part in here that references George Lucas. So there's no George Lucas that wrote Star Wars in my world.
Mm-hmm.
What caused the time video? I remember watching. I forget what triggered it.
That gem that you found, those crystals
Okay.
that were like communication crystals, but they actually, what they did was they played a presentation.
Gotcha. Is there anything like that around this book?
No, it wasn't related to the book. It was a different object.
Okay.
And we know enough about like the different kinds of stones to know that it had nothing to do with that, like the chaos stones and the bloodstones and things.
Well, it has to have something to do with the time stones, but you have not encountered one so far, at least not that you are aware of.
But through all of our combined research, would there be anything?
Would there be what? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking.
A correlation between the stones that we have and one of these like primal, like you said, time stone.
What do you mean when you say the stones that we have?
Oh, sorry, the crystals that you mentioned. The crystals that I wasn't here for this part, but I'm trying to put something together.
The crystals are not bloodstones.
Okay. Right. I don't think that they're bloodstones. I was just saying because there's multiple types of stones.
No, you're talking about our communication crystals. That's just a common item amongst the populace. It's a known technology.
Okay.
Let me get back to that question though. But one of the prefaces of this book is that there is no. The universe is more resilient than you think. So go back in time, kill your parents. Don't worry about it. It's going to work itself out. It's not as easy to cause a paradox as you think. But with that said, it goes into some different paradoxes. So a causal loop is a simple paradox of time travel that occurs when the future event is the cause of a past event, which in turn is the cause of the future event.
So it solves itself.
Yeah, both events exist in space-time, but their origin cannot be determined. A causal loop may involve an event, a person or object, or information. The terms bootstrap paradox, predestination paradox, or ontological paradox are sometimes used. Closed causal loops, such as the predestination paradox, which involve a self-existing time loop in which cause and effect run in a repeating circle, but it also is internally consistent with the timeline's history. Did this pop up for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
I'm going to spend like a whole week studying this thing.
The consistency paradox grandfather occurs when the past is changed in any way, thus creating a contradiction. If a time traveler were ever to go back in time and kill their grandfather in his childhood, it would result in one of the time traveler's parents, and ergo the time traveler not being born. If the time traveler were not born, then it would not be possible for them to kill the grandfather in the first place. Therefore, the grandfather lives to offspring the time traveler's parents, and therefore the time traveler. There is thus no predicted outcome to this. Consistency paradoxes occur whenever the changing the past is possible.
I love that we're getting into real quantum physics theorem.
So, there's sort of like a margin note on this one that says time is not linear. So this isn't really what happens. This is a layperson's understanding.
And thus insert the multiverse.
Possible resolution is that the time traveler can do anything that did happen, but cannot do anything that did not happen. Doing something that did not happen results in a contradiction. So just jump to the Fermi paradox. The Fermi paradox can be adapted for time travel and phrased, if time travel were possible, where are all the visitors from the future? Answers vary from time travel not being possible to the possibilities that visitors from the future cannot reach any arbitrary point in the past, or that they disguise themselves to avoid detection. Newcomb's paradox is a thought experiment showing an apparent contradiction between the expected utility principle and the strategic dominance principle. This thought experiment is often extended to explore causality and free will by allowing for perfect predictors. If perfect predictors of the future exist, for example, then time travel exists as a mechanism for making perfect predictions. Then perfect predictions appear to contradict free will because the decisions apparently made with free will are already known to the perfect predictor. A predestination paradox occurs when the actions of a person traveling back in time becomes part of the past events and ultimately causes the event he is trying to prevent to take place. This results in a temporal causality loop in which event 1 from the past influences event 2 in the future, and so on. The paradox suggests that things are always destined to turn out the same way, and whatever happens must happen again. Sound complicated? Imagine that your lover dies in a hit-and-run car accident. You travel back in time to save her from her fate, only to find that on your way to the accident, you are the one who accidentally run her over. Your attempt to change the past has therefore resulted in a predestination paradox. One way of dealing with this type of paradox is to assume that the version of events you have experienced are already built into a self-consistent version of reality, and that by trying to alter the past, you will only end up fulfilling your role in the event in history, not altering it. A bootstrap paradox is a type of paradox in which an object, person, or piece of information sent back in time results in an infinite loop where the object has no discernible origin and exists without ever having been created. It is also known as an ontological paradox, as ontology is a branch of philosophy concerned with the nature of being or existence. Person. A bootstrap paradox with a person could be, say, a 20-year-old male time traveler goes back 21 years, meets a woman, has an affair, and returns home 3 months later without knowing the woman was pregnant. Her child grows to be the 20-year-old time traveler who travels back 21 years through time, meets a woman, and so on. George Lucas travels back in time, giving himself the script for Star Wars, and then he goes on to direct and gain great fame that would create a bootstrap paradox involving information, as the scripts have no true point of creation or origin. The grandfather paradox concerns self-inconsistent solutions to a timeline's history caused by traveling back in time. For example, if you traveled to the past and killed your grandfather, you would never have been born and would never have been able to travel to the past. A paradox. Let's say you did decide to kill your grandfather because he created a dynasty that ruined the world. You figure if you knock him off before he meets your grandmother, then the whole family line, including you, will vanish and the world will be a better place. According to theoretical physics, the situation could play out as follows. Ignore that. Just a sec, let me...
So are we treating this as someone's study of time travel, or are we looking at this from what we theorize in the real world?
I don't know if I understand the question.
Without getting too complex, all of these paradoxes assume that there's one linear timeline. which
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting to that.
okay.
And
It's like at the moment you open up multiverse, then you run into, for anyone that's watched Loki, you explode into a whole new set of possibilities.
Vincent Wormbage went on for many years to talk about these paradoxes, but
yeah,
there are.
it's rumored that he has this primer that he wrote with Calidorn, and you're probably thinking, especially if you do like a successful Arcana check, that you are finding pieces of Calidorn's primer right now. They may have traveled through time and space in certain contexts. Okay,
Would my
so,
background give me advantage on checking this?
sure, or you can assist each other.
I'll assist.
I'll roll independently.
According to theoretical physicists, the situation
I'm at a 25.
could play out as follows. So yeah, so it's just like I said, the person who wrote this was Tillen Nashara's father, and Tillen Nashara was in the party of adventurers with whom the god of time walked the earth with. And Vincent wrote these books under his consultation and tutelage. And they have since maybe traveled or scattered. It's hard to say, like, if they did this on their own or if this was something that Vincent wanted to happen. But they don't exist in any one time and place. They kind of exist where and when they want to, which suggests properties in common with time bloodstones. So it's hard to say if there's a link there. There could be any kind of contact with bloodstones is extraordinarily dangerous and unpredictable. So, but these aren't bloodstones, so you would know if you were standing in front of a bloodstone. So, they're just books, but they're exhibiting some interesting behaviors. So, according to theoretical physics, the situation could play out as follows. Timeline protection hypothesis. You pop back in time. That got copied in there twice. Walk up to him, point a revolver at his head. The gun fails to fire. Click, click. The bullets in the chamber have dents in the firing cap. You point the gun elsewhere and pull the trigger. Bang, point it at your grandfather. Click, click. So you try another method to kill him. But that only leads to scars that he later in life attributed to the world's worst mugger. You can do many things as long as they're not fatal until you are chased off by a policeman. Multiple universes hypothesis. You pop back in time, walk up to him, and pull the trigger. Boom. The deed is done. You return to the present, but you never existed here. Everything about you has been erased, including your family, friends, home, possessions, bank account, and history. Scientists entertain the possibility that you have now created an alternate timeline or entered a parallel universe. Okay, so let's kill Hitler paradox. Similar to the grandfather paradox, the killing Hitler paradox erases your own reason for going back in time to kill him. Furthermore, while killing Grandpa might have a limited butterfly effect, killing Hitler would have far-reaching consequences for everyone in the world, even if only for the fact that you studied him in school. The paradox arises from the fact that if you were successful, there would be no reason to time travel in the first place. If you killed Hitler, then none of his actions would trickle down through history and cause you to want to make the attempt.
So I don't know if this is in the book because I haven't finished reading it. I'm assuming everyone here has watched Infinity War, Endgame.
Mm.
The whole spiel Hulk goes on is while you may go back and do that, your timeline isn't altered. You just created a branch of timeline which you do not return to. You return to yours, which all the things happen, but you've created a parallel universe in which you are not in, based on the events you caused. So you create the point of origin of branching, but you do not return to that branching timeline. You return back to your timeline where it's already happened. The events are real. Or if you do return to the other timeline, you just simply don't return to yours and everything still happened. You just disappeared and never showed back up.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen the show, but yeah, that's the basic idea.
You ever watched the Marvel movies?
Oh, I've watched some of them, but not all of them.
Losing respect.
So, and then there's Polchinski's paradox. Like a billiard ball enters a wormhole, emerges out the other end, just in time to collide with the younger version of itself and stop it going into the wormhole. There's the butterfly effect, is a reference to chaos theory in which seemingly trivial changes can have huge cascade reactions or ripple effects over the long periods of time. The timeline corruption hypothesis states that time paradoxes are an unavoidable consequence of time travel. Even insignificant changes might be enough to alter history completely. Solutions. The solution. Time
I feel
travel.
like Azun's going on a rant.
Time travel is impossible because of the paradox that it creates. Self-healing hypothesis. Successfully altering the events of the past will set off another set of events which will cause the present to remain the same. The multi-universe or many worlds hypothesis. The alternate parallel universe or timeline is created with each time an event is altered in the past. Erase timeline hypothesis. A person traveling in the past would exist in the new timeline, but have their own timeline erased. Okay, so that is kind of the first half of the book, and then there seems to be like a change in thought or tone or whatever you want to call it, and he starts writing about how he was thinking too simply. His thinking was just too rigid and linear for what this really is, and pretty much most of that is wrong. So, like, first of all, paradoxes are a lot harder to create than you think. So, like, go back in time, shoot your grandfather in the head, and come back, and you're in a universe where you exist, and everything that you understand to exist exists, and you shot your grandfather in the head. It just doesn't do anything. Like, time space is more resilient than that. It doesn't change anything, and it doesn't make the universe explode. So the truth of time travel is that it is not a line. It is, if you start with a point in time space, which is infinite and can be any point in infinite space can be equally considered the center. And you get these radiating cones of probability that are coming out from that point, both into the future and the past. And they basically exist spontaneously and of themselves. So you can, if you can perceive this, you can see, for example, like many different possibilities for your future from the point that you're at, and you can actually see different possibilities for your past. Some areas would remain secret or shrouded in shadow or something like that, according to changes in choice and chance. But others would be sort of inevitabilities depending on, which path you took. Going this path is, definitely gonna result in this. And he's kind of like, I just want to erase the word timeline from my vocabulary because it's just not a line. It's more like a sea that you can swim through.
The old sphere mentality. If you imagined you were the center point of a sphere and you could see the inside wall of the exterior of the sphere, you draw a line all the way around and it meets back at the same point. That's your timeline. Every possible branching happens before you, and all of a sudden you are surrounded in a bright light once all the branches come across because they're infinitesimal. Assuming they're infinitesimal, you can swim from any one point to any other given point, regardless of the route in which you...
Yeah, and if you were to go into this and...
It's deep. Don't do it.
And
I do it for a pastime.
If you were to go into this and like destroy one of these timelines, it's like in this model of space-time, it doesn't really do much. The rest of the model is fine without that line. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm explaining it exactly right, but hopefully it's kind of getting the idea across.
You could spend 2,000 hours on YouTube and still go, okay.
Hopefully,
I promise you, I did it.
Hopefully it's kind of getting the idea across. It could also be something that your characters might not get every aspect of right away anyway, if at all.
I imagine Azun's just flipping through the book and he's like, this, and then goes on a ramble and then flips the page and he goes, I remember, and then goes on a rampant. And at some point, probably pulls out the other book, probably fairly early on if we're just sitting there and reading them, and starts flipping through both books and comparing aspects of the books to try and figure out which one was written first and which one follows the train of thought in which the author believed to be a continuation.
Can you describe that to me very specifically and explicitly?
So, like in the margins of the Paradox book, it starts saying where he disagrees and where experience has said such and such. Can I find in the old book which things that might directly contradict what's in what I assume to be the newer book, where I could ascertain whether or not the book I currently have in my pack is the book that was written first, and then he continued to extrapolate, or did he continue to extrapolate in this book, and I can find his new findings referenced in the previous book?
The first one that you found was written after this one.
Okay.
And this was... make an insight check.
Can I grab the help action?
Yeah, sure.
14.
Okay. So, this book, you are thinking it was probably written early in the process, or maybe even right at the beginning. You're not sure. You also happen to put them physically close together, or maybe on top of each other, and they merge together into one book magically when you do that. And it gets a new cover. You've got two sections now. One section is on paradoxes. The other section... Whoa. For whom the bell tolls.
Son of a... I didn't do it! I don't know what the hell's going on here. They merged, and he starts flipping through, and now they're interesting.
This is the problem with working with time. There are an infinite possibilities that could be possible in different possible timelines.
You didn't put the description in your...
I just copied directly from the compendium.
Shoot.
It was just book. Well, he starts out with that theory, but then he follows this theory that time itself fixes itself. So going back to to shooting a firebolt at your grandfather, maybe you shoot it and then you leave, but then someone else shows up and saves him, and nothing changes. He just now has a scar, and the end result's the same. It seems that
He could
time
even be
maybe.
dead, and the end result is the same. He could be dead and never have had you, and the end result is the same.
Okay, well, Azun goes on to say that, and then you're just simply the same person, but from a different point of origin. But the result's still the same. It's saying there's a definitive line of time, but the outside point of origins always find the line.
So it is now one book. The book is titled Calidorn's Primer, and it has 2 sections right now on paradoxes and on the verisimilitude of time travel and its various pitfalls, or something like that. I don't have that title anymore. I got to go back and get it back.
Like Caldoun, you could have started in a real Druid circle, and you'd still end up in this cave and still not know much about your culture. It just doesn't matter where your point of origin is.
Again, I know the culture that I came from. That is my culture. I just don't know the culture of maybe to which I now belong.
But that's what I mean. You start out in a Druid circle, but at the age of 5, wander off and are never found by the Druid circle, and then continue to live on as a Druid, but you still don't know much about your culture because you were just a kid. The result's still the same. You still end up in this cave, and we still talk about how you don't know much about your culture.
Yes, we keep reminding me of that fact.
Or, we all just take totally different paths, but at the end of the day, we all still get together and save a unicorn. It doesn't matter where you come from. The end results and the timeline are predetermined, and therefore, free will exists, but it doesn't exist. Free will in of
think
itself is a paradox.
you are taking Vincent Wormbait's his writings as fact.
Maybe, but some of his conclusions, based on what I'm reading here, they seem to have experience. He starts on one path, but seems to alter without explanation. Everything could be wrong, but from what I'm reading here, it seems that there's something more to the story.
I completely agree. There could be something more to the story. The main point is that Vincent's work was never written into formal doctrine. We are still researching what he meant.
Maybe he hid the answers. Maybe the answers in and of themselves were too much to have lead to an organization that could then destroy everything that's there.
Yes, quite possibly.
Mhm.
We could have an ancient relic that nobody knows. This only gets deeper, guys. This only compounds the fact that we may be well in over our heads, and whoever we give this to, who knows what could happen.
Do we see what's going on behind us?
If you're looking at it, you do.
Yeah, I totally see that.
You
What
just
is
got Magnify Gravity cast on you. Let me see how this...
Oh,
10-foot radius sphere. And that's going to go right there. So everybody who is being touched by this sphere needs to make a Constitution save.
well, that's no problem at all.
Okay.
That's a problem.
And if you fail the save, you take 12 force damage.
Ah!
Oh my god.
And
That's no good.
with that, he exits the portal he came out of, whoever that was, and he is gone. And we are at the end of our time.
I still have my book, right?
Amazing.
Yeah, you
Just
still have
floor
your book.
stomps us?
You still have your book.
Comes out and blasts us.
Everybody make a perception. Well, is it everybody? I don't know if it's everybody. Everybody make a perception check.
Not so bad.
Okay.
So the first one was Uriel. The second one was me.
Okay. So you saw a wizard in a maroon red robe step out of a portal and cast a spell on you, and jet. He was out of there. Gehennis knows this wizard as Millard, which is maybe another alias, but that is the one who was sending you a note as Thanos.
Fucking Millard.
Does he share that with us?
Oh yeah, I like yelling out like Millard.
Do you
As like
do you
we're
share?
like being,
Yeah. Do you share that? That's who you.
yeah,
think
if we're
are-
like recovering,
Okay.
it's gonna come out. That was the wizard Millard. The one you know as Thanos.
He must have 4 of the 6 stones already. Sorry, I can't help myself.
Okay, that's it for tonight.
He wants those
we-
tomes.
All right.
We need to get these protected as soon as possible. He's after us.
We have to get out of here.
Should we
All
declare
right.
a long rest? Try to do that here
Yeah, that's fine.
this time. Okay. We can handle that
This is a
at some point.
pretty good place for a long rest. You kind of got a pretty defensible position. In fact, Asher can probably move that stone pedestal maybe with a little bit of help and kind of just use it to block the entrance.
The not so strong but ripped Azun will assist him.
Let's see who's all hurt.
I'm not feeling so good.
We
Yeah.
need to.
All the wizards trying to study on chronological theory just got annihilated.
Yeah, I guess.
Like looked up like, what's that?
Azun looks like he's on his last leg and clutching the book, willing to like fall on a grenade to keep it safe.
Are Asher and Uriel okay?
Asher is fine. I think Uriel is fine.
Uriel doesn't have a scratch on her. She looks fresh as the day she was born.
Awesome. Then I'll use 3 healer kit usages.
Asher has some of those
Efficient.
too. I can put 1 or 2 out with Asher.
Yeah.
We
I'll just-
all have a healer's kit at this point.
I'm proficient, so I'll just use them.
Okay.
I can borrow
Gotcha.
more.
Well, Asher didn't do so good.
Yeah, I'll count off 3, so I go from 8 to 5. Heal with the wizards, and then that way you heal up for the long rest.
Cool. Alrighty.
Yeah, cool.
Alright,
Thanks, all.
slots.
The plot thickens.